The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Kira stepped forward, her blue-scaled skin catching the artificial light. She had just saved 3 star systems from the plague that had threatened to wipe out billions of lives. The cure. She developed worked on 17 different species, from the silicon-based rocklings to the energy beings of Vega Prime. "Name your reward," Council Leader Thane announced, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. "Anything within our power shall be yours." Representatives from dozens of worlds leaned forward in anticipation. Some expected her to ask for advanced technology. Others thought she might request territorial expansion for her homeworld. A few whispered about rare minerals or immortality treatments. Kira's large amber eyes swept across the assembly before, settling on the single human representative in the far corner. The humans sat quietly, as they always did, taking notes on their primitive datapad. "I request a human," she said simply. The chamber erupted in confused murmurs. The Centaurian delegate's tentacles writhed with bewilderment. The crystal beings of Sigma Draconis chimed discordantly. Even the normally composed Council Leader Thane blinked his 4 eyes in surprise. "A human?" Thane repeated, as if he had misheard. "Ambassador Kira, surely you realize that humans are among the newest members of our alliance. They possess no advanced technology, no unique resources, no special abilities that other species lack." The human representative, a middle-aged woman named Lisa, looked up from her notes with equal confusion. Her species had joined the galactic community only 50 years ago, and they were still considered primitive by most standards. They couldn't manipulate energy like the Vortians didn't have the crystallines' computational abilities, and lacked the Aquarians' natural space adaptation. "That is exactly why I want one," Kira replied calmly. The Vortian delegate, his energy form flickering with indignation, spoke up. "This is insulting to all present. We offer you treasures beyond imagination, and you choose the most unremarkable species in the galaxy." Kira turned to face the assembly. 3 months ago, when the plague first appeared on Nexus 7, every species sent their best scientists. The crystallines brought their quantum computers. The ethereals offered their dimensional knowledge. The mechanoids provided their perfect analytical capabilities. She paused, letting her words sink in. All of our solutions failed. The plague adapted to every treatment, evolved past every cure. We watched helplessly as entire populations withered away. Then the humans arrived. Lisa shifted uncomfortably in her seat as hundreds of alien eyes focused on her. "They brought no advanced equipment," Kira continued. "No quantum processors or dimensional manipulators. They brought something far more valuable, their perspective. While we approached the problem with logic and precision, they brought intuition and creativity." The chamber remained silent, hanging on her every word. "It was a human researcher named Tom who suggested we were thinking about the plague backward. Instead of fighting it directly, he proposed we make the infected organisms less hospitable to the plague itself. The concept was so simple, so elegantly counterintuitive, that none of our advanced minds had considered it." Kira's voice grew stronger. "But that wasn't the most remarkable thing. When I was ready to give up, when the weight of billions of lives crushed my spirit, it was another human, a janitor named Bob, who found me crying in the laboratory corridor." A few delegates shifted uncomfortably. Emotional displays were considered unprofessional in most cultures. "Bob sat with me for 2 hours. He didn't offer solutions or analysis. He simply listened. Then he told me about his daughter, who had died from a disease on Earth decades ago. He said that sometimes the greatest discoveries come not from the mind, but from the heart's refusal to accept defeat." The Aquarian representative gurgled softly, which was their equivalent of a thoughtful hum. That conversation changed everything. I returned to the laboratory with renewed purpose, not because of superior intellect, but because of human compassion. The final breakthrough came when I combined the logical approach of our species with the emotional determination I learned from them. Council Leader Thane leaned forward. This still doesn't explain why you want a human as your reward. Kara smiled, an expression that looked oddly human despite her alien features. Because in all my years of scientific pursuit, I have never encountered a species that balances knowledge with wisdom, logic with intuition, intelligence with empathy, the way humans do. They may not be the strongest or the smartest, but they possess something rarer, the ability to inspire others to become better than they thought possible. She gestured toward Lisa. Every species here today has capabilities that surpass humanity in specific areas. But humans have something unique. They never stop growing, never stop questioning, never stop caring. They turn their limitations into strengths, their failures into lessons. The mechanoid delegates' optical sensors whirred as they processed this information. You speak of intangible qualities that cannot be measured or quantified. Exactly. Kira nodded. In a galaxy obsessed with measurable achievements, humans remind us that the most important things cannot be calculated. Their curiosity drives them to explore not just space, but possibilities. Their empathy helps them understand not just other species, but other perspectives. She turned to address the entire assembly. I have spent my life studying the universe's mysteries, but humans taught me the greatest mystery of all: how to remain hopeful in the face of impossible odds, how to find strength in vulnerability, how to discover answers by asking better questions. The chamber fell silent as delegates contemplated her words. Furthermore, Kira continued, I believe that having a human colleague will make me a better scientist, a better explorer, and a better being. They will challenge my assumptions, offer new viewpoints, and remind me that the pursuit of knowledge means nothing without the wisdom to use it compassionately. Council Leader Thane looked toward Lisa, who had been listening with growing amazement. The choice, of course, remains with the human. Lisa of Earth, do you accept this assignment? Lisa stood slowly, her mind racing. She had joined the diplomatic corps expecting to spend her career in the background, taking notes and filing reports. Now she was being offered the chance to work alongside one of the galaxy's most brilliant minds. I would be honored, she replied, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Kira's smile widened. Then it is settled. I believe this partnership will benefit not just us, but the entire galaxy. As the council session ended and delegates began filing out, many were already reconsidering their assumptions about the newest members of their alliance. Perhaps there was more to these humans than met the eye. Perhaps that was exactly the point.